My name is Muhammad Abdul Rahman. I'm a revert. I got myself rooted about 23 years ago. And prior to reverting, I was a Hindu. I was known as Ramasamy. My friends used to call me Rama. It started when I was about 13 years old. My mother used to teach me, used to tell me, say, whenever you have a problem, you call our family God. And I used to call. But one day, when I was sleeping, I had some problem, bad dream. I called this family God. And something whispered in my ear, you're calling so-and-so. The so-and-so will not come for your help. Then I got a shock of my life. Then my mother asked me to switch to some other God. My mother said, then you call the other God by the name of Subramanian. Then I started to wonder why, in the first place, the family God didn't work. And why must I switch to God when I have the problem? I started to analyze all my available Hindu gods. Then I wanted to pick the most powerful one, and then I wanted to call that one whenever I have a problem. In the process, I realized, not exactly realized, I was given the information that Shiva, God Shiva, he had more power, much more power than the other gods. And after spending some time in gathering information, then I realized his wife, Sakti or Kali, was even more powerful than Shiva. But they say, and I start to believe in this Shivan and Kali for some time. And later I realized that Kali did not have the quality or character that a mother should have. Because as a mother, she should be more forgiving and loving and tolerant. But you see, the myth says, so whenever you upset Kali, Kali will lose temper and then cut your head and then make garland out of your head. And then this has made me to fear Kali rather than loving Kali. Because my mother, she didn't have a supernatural power. But whenever I have a problem, or whenever I had a problem, that she will condole me, and then she will forgive me, she will protect me, and she will guide me. Then you see, I was under the impression, if Kali is a god who has got the power to create and then administer the universe, she must be more forgiving. And she didn't have the quality to forgive forgive her own creation. So I started to disbelieve, and then I was looking for even more powerful God or creator. And by then I was already about 16 years old. And not only 16 years old, I was equipped with a little bit more knowledge, especially science knowledge with the scientific background. And that is the time that I was exposed to space, Einstein theory of relativity, and speed of light, and things like that. This knowledge of knowing the universe, the vastness of the universe, and the mighty forces involved in controlling the universe, let me rethink the concept of God. And I took the most powerful God of Hinduism, that is, based on my belief, that is Shiva and Shakti. And let us say, if the humble servant who has been created by Shiva or Shakti, who stays in our nearest star, which is about 4 light years away, if that humble servant of Shiva or Shakti have some problem there, and if they seek help of the Shiva and Shakti, it may take about 4 years for the information from there to reach here. And then for Shiva or Shakti to respond to this, it may take another 4 years. Because the visualization of Hinduism or Hindu gods is in the physical form. So for them to convert into a spiritual form or into an energy form, maybe it's possible, because Einstein theory says that energy can be converted into matter, matter can be converted into energy. Let's say if they can be converted from the matter form into energy form, and then they travel at the speed of light, even to go to the nearest star, it may take about 4 years. And how about the distant galaxy, which is maybe is located as far as 10 billion light years away, or 15 billion light years away? We're not talking about one galaxy. We have countless number of galaxies and stars scattered around the universe. So this led me to come to a conclusion the governing of this universe is not possible by gods, not even by Hindu gods or any gods. So I came to an understanding or belief that you say everything is controlled by nature, because nature is such a mighty force and such an intelligent force is controlling everything. And with that belief, I grew up. Say when I was about 19 or 20 years old, even this belief that nature is the mightiest thing in this universe, and then it has got the ability to control, then I started to see things in a different perspective. See, whatever that we see, there is some intelligence in it. When you look at everything, we look at atoms, molecules, cells, chemistry, physics, electrons, electronics, whatever that we try to analyze, there is some intelligence. And this intelligence is the one that look like controlling everything in this universe. And some theory says that, say, we have been created. And some people say that we have been created. Some say that we have been evolved. See, if we have been evolved from something, in order to evolve, where do we, the process of evolution, where do the process of evolution got the knowledge? When you study our human, when you look at ourselves, we look at our eyes, our ears, and nose. The amount of technology, amount of know-how, amount of knowledge involved in construction of this, it is, even at the age of 19 or 20, it was quite difficult for me to apprehend, because it is quite impossible for nature just to have this much of knowledge or this much of intelligence to create or to even to allow things to evolve to be human being or to be universe. So I started to believe maybe we have been created by a force which is beyond our comprehension. Then I started to believe in Christianity, because, and that time, say, I had connection with some of the Christian friends, and then who conveyed the information of Christ or information of Bible to me, and then this one prompted me to, not exactly to believe, to let me investigate whether, to find out whether there is any truth in the religion or not. So I spent about 2.5 years. At the initial stage, I believed, and towards the end, doubts started to build up in my mind, especially when the Christians say that they say the Son of God, Jesus, has been crucified for the benefit of mankind, so that their sins can be forgiven, or their sins can be forgiven by their Father. Then this has let me ask a question. If Jesus' Father is a creator, don't he have the power to forgive? If he got the power to create, he also should have the power to forgive and forget. And why must he sacrifice his Son in the process of forgiving the sins of the creation which he has created? But it looks like the power of Jesus' Father wasn't absolute to me, because if he had absolute power, he didn't have to send his Son to be crucified. So when the doubt started there, and why must you say the God must stop with the one son then, and where is the wife? Why he decided to have only one son? Why can't more children? So by believing in nature, it is exhausted, because you see the nature cannot answer all my questions, because I had a lot of questions which will be very difficult for me to explain all the questions here. But you see, then one more time they say I look forward to the religion to seek for the truth, and the immediate religion which was available there was Christianity. So with the help of few of Christian friends, I started to explore Christianity. And first question that I asked myself was, is there any truth in Christianity? And one of the cathedral, most probably it is a King's College Cathedral, I'm not very sure now, it happened about 23 or 24 years ago. And I saw the sculptures of Jesus Christ dragging the cross, and then people giving him water, and finally he came to a place where he was crucified. Then that scene really touched me. Then I stood in front of the sculpture, crucifixion of Jesus, and then asked, oh God, if it is true, that this man was crucified for the benefit of mankind, which also includes me. I'm willing to bear half the pain that was borne by this man, and please give it to me over the period of time and guide me. And then I really cried there, because it is not that easy for somebody to sacrifice oneself for the benefit of the others. And with that feeling, I returned. But you see, the scene which I saw in the cathedral, it remained in my heart for quite some time. And this has started some doubt in my mind. Why must the God, my son, is sent down to the earth to be crucified for the human beings which he has created? Because compared to the son, human beings, they're much lower being. So when I had this doubt, I was a little bit disappointed, because I thought I'm going to realize the truth in Christianity. But when I had this doubt, then I stopped seeking for the Creator for some time. Then the guidance came from Islam.